Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details, and we are working on this gorgeous 2021 Redline Edition Equinox. You can see we've got the RS trim, blacked out badges. This thing is sexy as all get out. This is actually for a friend of ours. We've done an interior on it, we've washed it, deconned it, and we're getting ready to do a paint enhancement. This is brand new. This is a condition of the paint as it's come in. We haven't done anything to it. You can see we've got some minor swirls, some just random isolated deeper scratches that should polish out. You can see I've kind of quadrant off my test panel section, and we're actually going to be comparing two very popular polishes and see how they finish down. Now, I'm not looking to, completely remove everything on this, but it shouldn't take much effort for me to get a majority of the swirls and scratches on here because the paint is in such good condition. Now, I've not worked on a Chevy Equinox before as far as the 2021, so I don't know if the paint is soft or hard. I know typically in the past, Chevy paint, I know on my husband's Chevy Silverado, it is soft. So we're actually going to start off with the least aggressive method first. We're going to start with a white polishing pad, and then we'll see what kind of correction we get with that. But the two polishes that we're going to be using are... So these are the two products we're going to be testing out today. You can see we have Koch Chemie M302 and Sonax Perfect Finish, two very popular products when it comes to light correction but wanting to finish down beautifully well. You can see both products have kind of a scale that they determine their levels of cut and then gloss. For the Sonax Perfect Finish, it's a 4 out of 6. And then for the gloss, you can see they rate it a 6 out of 6. And then if we were to compare that to, let's say, their cut and finish, this is their more aggressive cutting kind of one-step product. You can see here, this is a 5 out of 5 on the cut and a 5 out of 5 on a gloss. So really two very unique formulas based on the hardness of paint, severity of swirls and scratches. But we're going to be trying out Sonax Perfect Finish as a fantastic long work time, nice polishing oils, but easy wipe off. We're going to be testing that out versus Koch Chemie, the M302. And you can see in comparison to some of their other products. Now they do have two products, their P301, their P601. These are a cut and finish. Both of these will have some sort of sealant or carnauba wax within them. And you can see on a sliding scale just kind of where they land on correction and then gloss. Obviously, this is going to be more of a easier one step. You're going to have very little cut, but fantastic gloss and shine left behind. And then also for the P601, I've used this multiple times on some pretty hammered paint. Does a fantastic job of cutting and finishing down beautifully well. You can see a 6 out of 9 or out of 10 for their cut, and then an 8 for gloss. And honestly, it does a fantastic job. I would say this finishes down a little bit more than the P601, but you're going to have more correction out of this product here. And then if you're looking for a product that has no sort of sealant or wax within it, that's where you would kind of land with these three right here. This is the M302. You can see 3 out of cut, a 8.5, 9 out of gloss. And then we have their F601. Again, a 6 out of cut, and then about a 6.7, 6.5 for gloss. And then again, their heavy cut H901. You can see this is their most aggressive, almost a 9 out of 10 for cut, and then a 5. So obviously, if you're using something like this, you might want to finish up with the M302. I know some people will use the F601 to cut and finish down really well on kind of medium paint or newer paint that may have some more severe swirls, but you're just doing a one step. It'll finish down remarkably well. So a variety of products. Sometimes it can be confusing trying to figure out which one to use. Today, we're going to be testing out these two side by side. On our hood, we're going to be using a white polishing pad from Lake Country. This is just one of their flat force pads. We're going to be using a GG6. Let's get into it and see what kind of comparison and also some differences that we might find between these two products. So typically when I am doing a paint enhancement, prepping for a coating for a brand new vehicle, one, I am not wanting to be super aggressive on the vehicle. I have already kind of priced this at a point that I'm going to be spending 1.5 to 2 hours polishing. So that means I'm not going to be spending a whole lot of time doing 1 inch per second. This is just kind of standard prep that I would do for a coating for a brand new vehicle. So I'm going to do about 3 passes with each product, moving at a good clip. I tend to not do 1 inch per second. I might have faster arm movements, but that's more because I know that the condition of the paint, it really shouldn't require a whole lot for me to remove those light swirls and scratches. Like I said, we have some deeper ones, but I believe that with the white polishing pad and these products, we should be able to get good correction. With 3, we might go that extra 4th pass, but I just want to kind of state why that I am, you know, not necessarily chasing paint perfection, not using something super aggressive. Some people might come off with an orange pad or even a yellow Rupes pad, and we might end up going there, but really what I want to make happen on this is go after those light swirls and scratches and give us nice gloss. I don't want to have to be dealing with micro marring. I don't want to have to be dealing with possibly being too aggressive on this brand new clear coat. So I just want to kind of set that up for you guys. That way you understand my rationale, my thinking. Again, we've got a white polishing pad. It's stained pink because I've used HD Speed on it in the past. We're going to be just doing 4 drops of each product on our pad. And I'm going to keep this in real time, but I will speed it up and edit this so that way you're not having to watch the whole thing. But trust me, 3 passes of each product at a moderate speed. I'll show you kind of how my arm speed is at the beginning, and then we'll kind of speed through it. Start at 3, then we'll bump up to 5. Alright, so that was our Koch Chemie M302. We're going to leave that sit on there just for a second. I want to compare side by side the wipe off removal. Alright, so I'm going to bring you in closer for our removal. I can tell you that the Sonax Perfect Finish did dust a little bit. You can see over here we've got a little bit of dust. It's kind of, that could be tape residue. Kind of got shed off. You can see over here with our M302. We don't really have a whole lot of that. Again, that's tape residue. I can tell because it's kind of bigger. But over here we do have a little bit more dusting with the Sonax Perfect Finish. So just something to note. When it comes to wipe off, this is our Sonax Perfect Finish side. It is about 65 degrees outside, a little bit of humid. We've had some rain yesterday, so there's a little bit of humidity in the garage. But that is very easy wipe off. I'm not having to fight it. I don't have a lot of polishing oils left behind. We'll come in closer in a second with our light to see what kind of correction. M302, a little bit grabbier. You can see we're kind of fighting some of the residue left behind, but again, it did sit on there a little bit longer, so take that into consideration. I let it sit on there and probably dry up, but for how long I left it sit on there, that's not difficult at all. And you can see once you kind of push through getting that residue off, Very easy. Now let's come in here with our correction light. And that is pretty flawless. We've got one rid right there. I don't know if you can see it. One rid. I did try to spend a little bit of time refining that. You're not going to notice that. And again, we have one rid right here. Didn't completely remove it. I feel like, honestly, the M302 cut better. And just from the naked eye, give me 1 second. This is difficult to do with one hand. In fact, we might just... See, the only annoying part about taping off is just getting rid of that residue, am I right? Get all that dust off. And I can tell you just from the naked eye, if we have our one side here, you can almost see right here where we stopped and started. I can see it from here. I don't know if you guys can. I can see a visible difference in gloss, and honestly, this side looks glossier when I come in here. You can see that break right here. Let's see what it looks like under a correction light. So there's our break right there. You can see a definite difference in gloss levels, but you can see a little bit more correction here on our Koch Chemie M302 versus our Sonax Perfect Finish on the right. I feel like here we have a little bit less correction, and over here we have pretty much paint perfection. That's just some residue. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Which one do you think is the obvious winner? I know it's very hard. I don't have a gloss meter. Typically my customers aren't asking what is the bump in gloss. And I know for this channel you guys might be interested in things like that. I just don't know in the real world if that is an applicable tool that I need to spend $100+ for, because I work for my customers. I'm trying to help some of you guys out with kind of determining the best products. And this is for this vehicle. Some vehicles it may be completely different. But for today, the Koch Chemie M302 I feel like has won. We had a very easy wipe off, low dusting. We don't have streaky residue left behind. Fantastic gloss and correction, especially for a new vehicle. So that's kind of my take on it for a new vehicle. The Koch Chemie M302 I feel has outperformed the Sonax Perfect Finish. Does that mean that this is a bad product? No, I'm not going to crack it. I've used it on many vehicles. Absolutely love it. If you're looking for a quick paint enhancement, easy application, easy wipe off, it's a fantastic product. But I feel like the Koch Chemie might finish down a little bit better, might cut actually a little bit better, and just give you an overall better gloss on the vehicle. So we're going to actually continue to use the Koch Chemie M302 the rest of this vehicle, and I'll coat it. And for those of you that enjoy kind of the completed look of a nicely detailed vehicle, I'll bring you back to show you the finished look. It looks fantastic as is. I cannot wait to see what it looks like once we give it even more enhanced gloss and shine and a richer glow. This metallic flake here, you can see just some light love marks. Honestly, not bad condition, but here's our before. Again, really decent condition for a brand new vehicle. They've had it a couple of months. Our lower panels here, we do have some swirl marks, some love marks just from washing it. So very easy day for me, but now we've got the perfect product, the perfect pad, everything is dialed in. Let's get her polished and cleaned up. All right, guys, we are all done with our Chevy Equinox Redline Edition. It turned out fantastic. We'll do a quick walk around in a second. I just wanted to be completely transparent with you guys about my experience with Koch Chemie M302, and this is my experience. I don't know if any of you have had a similar experience with it. I find that it can be a little grabby when it comes to removal, similar to like a 3D1, but nowhere near as many polishing oils left behind. But the residue left behind can be a little grabby. I'm working in more humid conditions today, especially as it got warmer. So little tip that I actually will do when I'm working with a polish or compound that's a little grabby for removal, rather than be super aggressive with my microfibers and potentially scratch it or just battle with it and waste a lot of energy, because polishing can be physically demanding as it is, let alone the wipe off and just keep moving around the vehicle. What I did is I actually took McKee's 37 N914 rinseless wash, and you can use any rinseless wash really. I learned this tip when using a lot of the turtle wax products that they're grabbier, and they recommend using a damp towel method. What I did is I had some in a microfiber, or with a microfiber in a bucket, did a rinseless wash over the panel after polishing it to remove the residue. Then I actually have a spray bottle with this product in it at a 1:8 dilution ratio, mixed it a couple sprays on, and then dried it, and I was able to remove residue and do panel wipe all at one time. Save a little bit of time, save a little bit of energy. So that's just a little tip for how I kind of combat any sort of polishes or compounds that might be a little grabby and physically tedious to remove. It's not super aggressive. I don't want to like intimidate anybody or scare anybody, but I know that there are some easier polishes to remove in my experience. Maybe you've had a different experience, and if you have, by all means comment down below. But this was just mine for today in a humid conditions. And then we topped it after doing our panel wipe with Ceramic Pro Sport. You can see it turned out fantastic. We've already done a walk around inspection to remove any sort of high spots. It turned out fantastic. We've got really nice gloss and shine. The metallic flake is just popping on this vehicle. We've been able to remove 90 to 95% of the swirls and scratches. Again, I wasn't chasing paint perfection, but having a product like this, I was able to do mild to moderate correction, but just leave behind a beautiful gloss and shine. This thing looks like an absolute mirror. Forgive me, I kind of dress casually for detailing because I don't want to scratch the vehicle, but that's pretty impressive. Hi. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight on a fantastic product to use, especially for newer vehicles. For those of you that are looking to do mild, moderate swirl remover, just refine the paint, but leave behind a fantastic gloss and shine. Would I say it is the absolute easiest product to wipe off? No. I mean, if we're going to compare it to, let's say, like a HT Speed versus a Meguiar's 105, it's nowhere near the 105, but I would say it's somewhere in the middle. And I tend to use products that are a little bit on the easier side for wipe off, just because I don't want to have to waste energy if I don't have to. But the rinseless wash technique is a nice way to kind of help remove any sort of residue safely, extra lubrication, clean the panel, and then you can do your paint prep afterwards as well with whatever paint prep that you want to use. So hopefully this helps give you guys a little bit of insight on what I would recommend for a new vehicle for polishing it and comparing the Sonax Perfect Finish. Again, I don't really think there's a wrong choice with either one. I would say the Sonax Perfect Finish, if you are all about the removal process, that is probably going to be an easier product to use. But in this moment, we were looking for which one is going to give me the best correction and gloss left behind. And as you can see, the M302 did a fantastic job. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. But I'm going to finish up the inside. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and make sure you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell onto the side. That way you can stay tuned for future videos when they drop. But we will see you guys in the very next video. Have a wonderful day. God bless.